So what questions are you going to ask when you're forming relationships with buyers and sellers? Because again, it's all about the questions, about getting to know people, leading with that, with questions. So we want to, number one, work on finding out people's motivation and then finding out as much as possible about them as we're sort of diagnosing their situation. Use the analogy as what a doctor would do. We want to diagnose before we prescribe. So for sellers, we want to know why they're moving. It's all about motivation, because if a seller is just, hey, maybe we can downsize because the market's good, maybe this is a good time to cash out, chances are they're not going to be realistic in their price. They're not going to be that motivated to sell. It'll be a situation where, like, if somebody comes offers me a big pile of cash, then we'll sell. Well, you probably don't want to work with that seller because you're just going to be spinning your wheels, wasting a lot of time with them. Where are you moving? You want to find out what they owe on the mortgage. Are they in a position to sell? Where are they going to go from here if it sells quickly? Where would they move to? And then of course, are they buyers, sellers? And that goes, so then when you are working a buyer lead, for instance, you want to find out what their current living situation is, because sometimes you get a buyer lead, you would start talking about a house and you never ask them, where are you living now? And maybe they have a house to sell too. So you could have a buyer seller. So it's, do you currently own, or are you renting? Are you on a lease? When does their lease get out? Maybe they signed a lease that doesn't get out for another 9 months, and they're just starting to look at houses. With buyers, you want to find out what their living situation is. Are they living by themselves? Do they have a spouse or significant other? Do they have a kid? Do they have 10 children? Do they have pets? All information you need to know. How many? Do they have 2 boys, 2 girls? Do they have a boy and a girl? Do they have 2 boys who always share a bedroom and they want to share a bedroom, so they're fine getting a 2-bedroom house? Of course, you want to know what their financial situation is. Are they planning on buying? Do they have a bunch of cash saved up? Do they just get an inheritance? Do they need a loan? If they need a loan, flat out ask them, do they know what their credit score is? So there's so many different questions that we can ask just to find out the information on people's situation, their motivation to make this move, and what advice we can give them to help them.